Hi, I'm Christina.
I'm Maya
from Book with Dreams, and today we are bringing you a review of The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So please excuse my reading from down below, but I'm just, it's better if I read than just like blab out what I know, because that's not gonna be good. So, The Song of Achilles is the first book written by Madeline Miller. She wrote it for a total of 10 years, as long as the Trojan War was actually like going on. And she did this while she was working as a professor of Greek and Latin. The book was published in 2011, and it actually won the Orange Prize for Fiction, what is today known as Women's Prize for Fiction. So the plotline is obviously set in Greece and is basically a story of...
It's Greece, right?
It is Greece, I think. And is the story about the love between Achilles and Patroclus. The author said that she got her idea about their love from Plato, and that actually the idea of two of them actually being in love is a very old one, and a lot of oh my god, Greek and Roman authors actually kind of portrayed and deemed their relationship to be very romantic. And it can be like kind of seen in the Iliad, although not explicitly written out, but like there's like, you know, like indications that that is the case. So we read this as our Read Harder challenge. I think it was...
did?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
This was one of our Read Harder challenges. And
what was the challenge?
I think it was a mythology book.
Oh, okay.
So, you know.
See how informed I am. Alright, so did we like this book? We
Yes.
did. We did very much.
Yes.
Specifically, not specifically.
What? Especially?
Especially, yes.
Okay, I'll hold this
you hold this
while we read.
Alright, so I especially enjoyed the love story between Achilles and Patroclus. Now, there's a whole different... I listened to it on audio, and the dude says Patroclus differently than I do, and I'm like, I'm not gonna even pretend to try to remember how he said it, but he doesn't say Patroclus.
How does he say it?
I don't remember, but it's not Patroclus. But anyway, if you didn't see the movie with Brad Pitt and Hector was played by Eric Bana and Orlando Bloom and a bunch of other people, do yourself a favor and just watch the movie. And then you can also read the Iliad by Homer if you want, and then read this, because the whole book follows the plot of the Iliad and the movie. So but it adds a backstory to Patroclus, because we don't really know anything about him from the movies and the books. So we follow Patroclus' childhood and how he gets to meet help me, Achilles. I'm like in my head, Croatian. Achilles, and how they become friends, how that friendship blossoms into something more, and then how they get to participate in the Trojan War and the whole entirety of the war, and spoiler, the end when both of them die, and then what happens after that. And we're going to focus just more on the characters and on their relationship, because the plot is well known and we like the plot, and all the mythological details and everything that's been added to this story just make it so interesting and sort of increases the folklore and the mythology of the whole thing, which I really enjoyed. And yes, let's talk about how awesome Patroclus and Achilles are.
I'll just want to say because like the bulk of this is gonna be basically about the characters. I just want to say that the prose in this book is absolutely wonderful. It's so enjoyable to read. I can't even pinpoint why. I just know that it felt just so natural,
enthralling.
Yes, awesome. It was just beautiful sentences, beautiful like metaphors, such an easy way of conveying ideas through a single word, through a single metaphor, like just through a single sentence. It was so well done. I think it needed to be said.
Yes, I was worried when we picked this book because I thought it was going to be boring because I found all classics very boring. But it wasn't boring. It was so interesting and it was enthralling. It just pulled you in and you're like, okay, let's read about those two. And I mean, they're awesome.
Yeah. And it's written from Patroclus' point of view.
Yes.
Like the entire book. Just as a note.
Okay, so
let's start.
Let's talk about this. Their love is so pure and so naive, and it was such fun to read about. And I just particularly enjoyed how there were so many ways that both of them could have been so shitty towards each other.
Yeah.
And how everyone, I mean, there were people being shitty to them, but how their surroundings really just sort of, I want to say, nurtured their relationship and everything, especially when they went to the mountain to train with the centaur guy. They're just basically left alone most of the book until they go to war. And so they have time and space to grow together, to learn together, to become, you know, this. You know, they're awesome. They're just awesome. I can't, don't laugh at me. It's awesome. It was just, I mean, I read this after I read Blindness, and I hated Blindness, and it was such a balm for my tortured soul. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, now you say something.
What do I say now? Well, I particularly liked, like, the part when they were really young, like, when they were, like, 12, 13, when, you know, like, when you kind of just start kind of finding out about your sexuality and stuff like that, and when they weren't even certain what this was, and I really like that discovery, like that journey to their discovery that they actually had feelings for each other, and when they actually started like acting on them. And I found just like throughout the book, like even to the very end, their love to be like, although there were like a lot of shitty things happening, you know, like cheating on both sides, like pride getting in the way and everything, it just still felt very, just like Maya said, pure. Like I felt like they genuinely loved each other. Like they would really do anything for each other. And it was interesting to see the struggle at points, you know, like with Briseis and stuff, where, no, but like,
I get it.
What do you choose? Like, do you choose love over being a decent person? That's like an interesting, fight.
With the whole thing with Briseis and Patroclus was like, well, I want to have, I mean, she was the one who mentioned the children, right?
I'm not saying about the children, I'm saying when Agamemnon took her.
Patroclus trying to save all the priestesses and all the slaves that were supposed to be like sex slaves and everything.
Because Achilles, yes, this is the Croatian influence here. So Achilles is portrayed as this very prideful and arrogant little twat, especially during the war, because he has been taught his whole life that he's gonna become this biggest warrior of all times. Yes. And he even knows that he's gonna die during the war. Yes. So he kind of plays up the whole hero thing even more. What I felt about that whole thing was, I felt just because of that pride of his, and what happened because of it, both his and Agamemnon's pride made it very human to me, the entire book. Okay. Because it kind of portrayed very well, even in today's time, like even for today, what pride
can do to
you, to society, to like how difficult and bad consequences can come out of people.
The whole war actually started because of pride. Because it's like, he took my wife and let's go get her back. And
yes, and although like they were not having good weather, they decided, okay, well, let's just sacrifice another woman so we can like have good weather.
That was fucked up.
Yeah,
that was so. I was like, why is he? I didn't even notice until like, okay. But the thing was, the whole pride. I mean, how? What are the 7 sins, right? How like it ruined everyone in that story. It started a war which lasted for 10 years. I mean, can you think about like they're stuck on this island for 10 years, like trying to have a life, and you know, with the slaves which they, you know, raped and everything, and then they get pregnant, they're like, oh, we're a family now or whatnot with the other soldiers. But you know, the whole thing that Patroclus was trying to do through the entirety of the war, because he's not a warrior like Achilles. He hasn't been told all his life, oh, you're gonna be awesome. He's like, no, let's try and save people. And Achilles was like, I don't need to know anybody's name. They will know my name. That's the main point. Like,
but I think even at one point they like somebody told him, I don't know if it was the centaur Chiron. I read it Chiron. Anyways, like somebody told him that in order for him to be a hero, he cannot see people. You know?
Okay.
Like that's why he was very distant. He distanced himself from everybody that he killed, from everybody that Patroclus in the end actually saved the women and everything. Just because if he needed to kill them, he didn't want to. He basically didn't want to feel bad. Like that's the only way he could cope with the fact that he was killing somebody, but not seeing them as people. As somebody, you know, like worth knowing, or like as somebody's mother, father, you know, brother. So yeah.
But you know, I gave the book 4 stars because I enjoyed the first third of the book so immensely. I got butterflies in my stomach while reading about those two, and that's amazing. I just love that. And usually, what happens in books like these, you sometimes enjoy the getting together part more than after they get together and their life later on. Because in later on, you know, there's so many stupid things that happen because various different forces were intruding into their lives. First we have Achilles' mother, who how she did not kill everybody in her life is beyond me. Then you have the gods, who like have their favorites in the war, and they're doing stuff to mess with everybody. Then you have Odysseus, who is, oh my god, he's such a manipulative bastard. It was so amazing. He's such a cool character. I mean, I think she needs to write something about him, because that was fucking awesome. And, you know, you have Agamemnon and everybody just basically fucking with them. So they can't live, as you say, you can't be famous and be happy. There's a line in the book, is like, you can't be famous and be happy. And Achilles was like, well, I'm going to be the first one because I'm going to have you. Which was so... But still, it was like their relationship, you know, they had their ups and downs and everything. But in the end, when both of them, spoilers, died. I mean, we talked about this, but, you know, they died. And when that little shit came, that Achilles' son, who is 12 years old, apparently, everybody's supposed
Pyrrhus.
to, or whatever
Pyrrhus.
his fucking name is, I don't care. Like when he came, somehow appeared in Troy, and he was like, well, I'm the son of Achilles, you're supposed to listen to me now. And prevented those two from being buried together. He was like, dude, just let them be together. And
no, he didn't. Not even he didn't prevent. He didn't let Patroclus like move on to the other world, because he didn't want to write Patroclus' name with Achilles' name, because like that would be like a no. Like, what does a slave have to do with his famous father?
Yes.
That was really bad.
Yeah, but the whole book, just, you know, as a chronicle of their relationship and everything, it was it was awesome. It was so beautifully written, and I enjoyed it so much. I really thought it was going to be boring as fuck, but it was not. It was so good, and I just enjoyed reading it.
It was really beautiful.
Yes, and I'm totally looking forward to reading Kirky, whatever, however you say her next book. Yeah. But yes, it was a good book.
Yeah, I also loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I first gave it 4 stars. When I was like 20 pages until the end, and then it was just like, when I finished it, I was like, yeah, that totally deserves 5 stars. It was so amazing. I literally, I just enjoyed it so much. I felt so much, and like it was like 2 of my favorite things. I got emotionally involved, and the reading process was.
It went by quickly, I have to say.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
like I don't see. I totally get why everybody is hyping up this book, because it's so
awesome.
worth the
awesome.
hype, because so many like our friends, like the two of us and our friends are really different readers. Like we read different stuff. Like, you know, Maya's into like fantasy, urban fantasy. I'm more leaning towards like romance thrillers. Her sister maybe is the only logical thinker here.
I was like, I love it so much, and then she pointed out things. I was like, no.
Yeah, but
yes.
like we have a sci-fi reader and everything. Like people from different genres who have read this and have loved this. Like, so, like, totally, like, I think it's at least worth a try.
Yes.
Definitely.
At least read the first third.
Yeah.
When they go to war, you can save yourself the heart palpitations when shit starts getting real.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so
we would definitely recommend this one.
Yes, to everybody.
Yeah, definitely. We can gush about it later on.
All right.
Because this is already too long.
Okay, so if you agree with us or don't agree with us, please let us know down in the comments so we can discuss some more. You can like, share, subscribe, and click the bell button for the notifications if you want to know when we
post new videos.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.